So I guess in terms of biggest challenge then, what would you say that would be for yourselves? Your team or your company, either one?
My biggest challenge is having cultural references that are understood by the majority of my team. So during meetings, if I refer to Ferris Bueller's Day Off or films from the 90s and get blank stares, but no,
that's not. Wait a minute. So that has to be a team night, I think. But Office Space was the one for me moving to the UK. Everybody in the US understands Office Space references, even people who were probably like 2 when the movie came out. You come here and everybody goes, what?
The two Bobs are cultural icons for me. And I spend most of my day sending people YouTube clips. That's really the value I bring to Beasley. But
standardization.
Yes, but no. So, again, if I start with the team, maybe unconventionally, there's a challenge in having a global team. Honestly, most of whom are not meeting face to face. We had our first face to face encounter earlier in the summer in Chicago. I had not met over half my team in person.
Wow.
And had formed assumptions about what these people were like as human beings.
Yeah.
And when I met them in person, some of them were absolutely the opposite of what I assumed. And that impacts you as a team because you do need to understand who you're working with. And to be an effective team and one where you take on board the diversity of thought and the different experiences of others, I think is extremely important, again, as a manager. So I think that's a challenge. So, maintaining an effective team and a good working environment for people where they may not be meeting their peers very frequently is a challenge. And that's really a change, right? That, there are changing working environments, there are changing commercial environments. And so how you adapt to change and how you ensure you bring people along with you and you don't implement things without understanding the impacts on them is really important. So that's like a general kind of challenge. I think in terms of cybersecurity and the product we're selling, the challenge is realizing what we did before is not good enough. Incident response is the baseline. Incident response is expected and absolutely necessary, but it is not going in the current environment with the adaptability and the effectiveness of these threat actors. It is not going to be enough. The organizations that suffer a major incident are going to be hurting, and some of them may not survive. It doesn't matter how good our team is. It doesn't matter how many professionals such as yourselves are involved in the incident. It's going to have widespread implications. And honestly, sometimes these are quite challenging for us. We see people resigning and leaving organizations because of the stress and the emotional pain of having had to have, stayed up late for 3 weeks or slept in the office. And it's really that the impact, I think, is often misunderstood. Cybersecurity and cyber incidents, they sound very, again, intangible. And but it does have direct impacts on human beings, the people who are involved, and the companies and the organizations that suffer them. So that's definitely a challenge, the kind of stress of that environment. So there are lots of different challenges, and it's there are no quick fixes. Again, it's about slowly adapting to them and understanding how you can change.